Christmas is a season of spiritual reflection on the foundations of the Christian faith. It's also a celebration of the arrival of Jesus. Christmas is a time for Christians to praise God's love for the world through the birth of the Christ child, Jesus. The Bible tells of his birth hundreds of years before, fulfilling prophecies from the Old Testament. Narrative appears only in Matthew 1:18-25 and Luke 1:26-38. 4. And the modern scholarly consensus is that it rests on slender historical foundations. 5. The ancient world didn't possess a thoroughly modern understanding that male semen and female ovum were both needed to form a fetus. 6. This cultural milieu was conducive to miraculous birth stories. 7. And tales of virgin birth and the impregnation of mortal women by deities were well known in the 1st century Greco-Roman world. And 2. The date of the birth of Jesus is not stated in the Gospels or in any historical sources, and the evidence is too incomplete to allow for consistent dating. 1. However, most biblical scholars and ancient historians believe that his birth date is around 4206 BC. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Two main approaches have been used to estimate the year of the birth of Jesus. 1. Based aside from the historiographical approach of anchoring the possible year to certain independently well-documented events mentioned in Matthew and Luke, other techniques used by believers to identify the year of the birth of Jesus have included working backward from the estimation of the start of the ministry of Jesus 8 and assuming that the accounts of astrological portents in the Gospels. Aside from the historiographical approach of anchoring the possible year to certain independently well-documented events mentioned in Matthew and Luke, other techniques used by believers to identify the year of the birth of Jesus have included working backward from the estimation of the start of the ministry of Jesus 8 and assuming that the accounts of astrological portents in the Gospels. Men visit Jesus. Wise men visit Jesus. Wise men from the east came to worship Jesus, bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Some time later, wise men, or magi, from eastern countries saw a star in the sky that signaled the birth of a new king. They came to Judea, the region around Jerusalem and Bethlehem, to worship Jesus. The nativity of Jesus, a man named Herod, was the Christ. King. Birth of Jesus, or birth of Christ, is documented in the biblical Gospels of Luke and Matthew. The two accounts agree that Jesus was born in Bethlehem, Judea, that his mother, Mary, was engaged to a man named Joseph. Touch and hold a clip to pin it. Unpinned clips will be deleted after 1 hour. Use the edit icon to pin, add or delete clips. Does it make sense to say that Christmas marks the birth of God? This question evokes the premise